Hello everyone. So today I'm going to talk to you about how to use formula for area and perimeter. And before we go into it, I think it's important to talk quickly about what area and perimeter are. So perimeter is just the total distance that you would travel if you were to walk around the outside of a shape. So I'm just tracing the perimeter with the cursor at the moment. Area is just the amount of space that a shape takes up on paper. We generally represent this by being the inside area of the shape there, the inside section of the shape. For example, the area in this shape here is going to be quite a bit bigger than the area in this smaller shape, just because this takes up more space on a piece of paper than this one does. When it comes to solving problems on area and perimeter, there's four basic things that you need to remember. The first step is to identify the shape. The second step is to find and write out the formula that you're dealing with. The third step is to fill in what you are given in the question. And the fourth and final step is to just solve then for what the unknown is. So there's a lot of formulas that kind of come under this topic. So instead of going through each individual formula, I'm going to look at an example where you're asked to find the area or perimeter. And I'm going to look at an example where you're given the area and perimeter and asked to find a different quantity, like the width or the height of a shape. So let's have a look at one of these questions. So in this question here, we're going to be asked to find the area. So step one is just to identify what the shape is. Now I think anybody who's done math to this point will know that this shape is a triangle. Step two is to write out the formula. So we're looking for a formula that talks about the area of a triangle. You can find this in your log tables, or if it's more convenient, you can find it in your textbook. It is a good idea to be familiar with finding these formulas in the log tables anyway though, so that's what I would suggest unless you do not have a set of log tables with you at home. The formula that you'll find is that the area for a triangle is equal to a half times the base of a triangle times its height. Step three then is to fill in the quantities that were given in the question. So we know the base of the triangle is 13. We know the height of the triangle is 7. And step four is to solve for the unknown variable, which in this case is area. And this will give us the answer that we're looking for. Find the area of the triangle. So a half times 13 times 7 will give us an overall area of 45.5. And the unit for area is just whatever the unit for length is squared. So in this case it's going to be centimeters squared. So now we're going to look at another example of a question where we're given the area and we're asked to work backwards to find a different quantity in the shape or a different measurement in the shape. So again, we're just going to follow the same four steps. Step one is to identify the shape. So this shape is going to be a trapezium. A trapezium is a shape where two of the sides are parallel, like the top and bottom here. Then we're going to write out the formula for a trapezium. Again, you can find this in your log tables. The formula for the area of a trapezium is area is equal to the top height, or the top width, plus the bottom width, divided by 2, all multiplied by the height. In this question here, we're trying to find the height. Step 3 now says to fill in the quantities we're given in the question. So we're told that the area is 32 centimeters squared. We're told the top width is 6, the bottom width is 10, and then again we have our quantity h, which we actually do not know the value of yet. So, step 4 now says to solve for our unknown. So we're going to try and solve this out and find out what the value of h is. So a good place to start in this question would be to try and simplify what's inside in the bracket here. So 6 plus 10 will give us 16. Divide that by 2 and we're left with 8. Times h will give us 8h. 32 on the left hand side still stays the same. Now to find out what h by itself is, we're going to divide both sides by 8. The idea being that on the right hand side, 8h divided by 8 will cancel to just give us h. So we'll end up by h on the right hand side. On the left hand side, 32 divided by 8 will give us 4. So that's our final answer. The height there of that trapezium is 4. Now at this point in a geometry question, you should be just double checking, have I left out a unit? And in this case you have. When we're talking about measurements, we're always measuring it in centimeters or meters for distance. If you're not sure which one to use, then just use the one that's given to you in the question. So here we're talking about centimeters and centimeters squared, so that's what we'll stick into our answer. Now again, this won't talk you through every single formula there is, but the method is still the exact same. If you refer back to the original 4 steps, they're all you're ever going to need to solve one of these basic type of questions. We will be looking at some problem based ones later on, but we'll talk about them when the time comes.